Hello. This is a video for my friend Preti. Thank you for giving me this amazing video opportunity. That's awesome. I absolutely love it. Mwah. It's super. So I love it when people make a video request. Absolutely love it. And Sandy too. So you can always ask me if you want me to make a specific video about a subject. Yeah, I will do it. I will also make a video and answer any kind of complex question, for example, that needs a little longer answer, like 40 minutes or something. So some things are very complex. I'm working myself through the emotions. I am my best own therapist. This is so incredibly cool. And it feels very wholesome, and it's all on this healing journey, everything that happens. So any feeling that occurs, any trigger, we can take that into our own healing process, and it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic, including romantic relationships or feelings, or being in love with someone, or having a crush on someone, or being infatuated, or being jealous. Anything we can take into this inwardness meditation process, and it's super. And so you want me to talk about how to move on, how to move forward from a relationship or feelings you had or still have for someone, but you want to move on. That is exactly how I feel. I didn't have a relationship, and it was and yet it feels very intense, way more intense than anything I have ever felt for a man. And it is bizarre because it feels like I'm in love with a fata morgana, a mirage, like a mirage in the desert. I walk for miles and miles, and I'm thirsty, literally. And there is suddenly a man in the middle of nowhere, and I walk towards that man, and I'm like, oh, the most gorgeous, most masculine man in the whole world. Oh my gosh, I can feel him. I'm close. And then it disappears. The image disappears right in front of my eyes. What did just happen? What's going on? This is bizarre. And so this is, when it doesn't matter whether it's a mirage man, or if it's a crush, or if it's just loving and this idea, or whatever idea of a man, or if it has been someone. In your case, you had a relationship with a man for 3 years, and you want to move on, and you don't know how to do it because you keep thinking about him, and then no other guy compares to him. So that also happened to me with the mirage man. It's like I try to move on, I meet someone else, I'm like, okay, I really want to get into that other person, it's mine, and connect with him. And in the back of my head that Mirage Man is still there. So obviously that hasn't been solved yet, and it takes as long as it takes. So we shouldn't be beating us up for that. It takes as long as it takes. And I had actual boyfriends in the past. I think of them with love and I wish them happiness, but I do not want to ever see them again. Okay, this is like that would feel like backtracking somehow. I moved on. I really moved on from those guys. And some of them I broke their heart, and some of them they broke my heart, and that's normal. That's how life goes. And so, and I had a crush once on James Hetfield from Metallica. That went on for over half a year. That was in 2010 when we bought this house. It caused me terrible anxiety. It was awful. But what I'm going through right now does not, absolutely not, that's absolutely like way out there. That James Hetfield does not compare in the slightest bit to this what's going on right now. And neither does my crush on Louis House come anywhere in the outer margins of what I am feeling right now for that Mirage guy. So, I mean, you know who that is, the Mirage guy. It is sane, but, it is, I don't want anything from him. I'm not throwing myself on him. I am dealing with it in my own house and with my own videos, and he sure doesn't have to watch my videos. So if he watches my videos, then that is his own risk that he takes. I'm not forcing anyone to watch my videos, and I'm dealing with this on my own. So if I go on anyone's nerves, then that's those people's own fault if they watch my videos. I said it many times. That's the beauty about the internet. That's the beauty about freedom of speech and net neutrality and empowerment. That's really, really fantastic. And also, watch the latest video by Teal Swan. She talks about it. I recommend it to all of us girls, women, and I particularly recommend that video by Teal Swan to all men out there, particularly straight men. Okay, but she also mentions gay men or gay people in general in the video as well. She doesn't want to leave anyone out of this theme, okay, which has to do with love and with relationships. So, but her main focus is actually addressed at straight men, and she's trying to explain to us. She is explaining to us. I hope people understand it. Well, I watched that video. I watched very, very, very attentively because every word she says resonates with me 100%. I know exactly what she's talking about. I know that we are not the same. I know that women and men have very different brains. I talk about this a lot in my videos. And men need to understand that if they want to make a woman happy, they have to be there for her. That's also what Thich Nhat Hanh writes in his book True Love. So I have been reading some chapters from his book on my other channel, Nikki Daisy Dandelion. So, and I will do this until we are going on our vacation, and then I will not be able to do it. But I think these couple of chapters are very important to put out into the world for people to listen to, and I highly recommend to people to get his books. I have these books for life. I will read them again and again and again. They have helped me to make peace with my family overseas. It was tremendous, particularly with my dad, who had been acting very, very immaturely, and so helped me to communicate with my dad much better. But it also helps us to communicate with our romantic crushes and loves and whatever, whatever kind of person or situation that is. So it helps us understand this better. And women want to be protected. They want to be seen, they want to be loved, they want to be wanted. They want to be held by a strong man. They want a real, honest communication, where there's an actual connection happening between the two minds, where they are sharing honestly how they feel. This is how I feel as a woman. This is how we feel. And to make him see us, to make him understand women better. And I want him to share how he feels, what's really going on in him. I'm getting a little bit closer to this now because of the chat room. I see what they all have in common, what all the straight men on the internet, particularly, from talking to people in the chat room, the group therapy, what they all have in common is they have really terrible shame feelings, and they build up pride to cover up the shame feelings. So that's really what's going on, and it's very convoluted and complex, and we can't really figure it out all the way unless they open up to us about it and tell us. So some of them have told me they are very, very shy. And there are some men that are very, very extremely shy. And I appreciate that they have said to me that they are very, very, very shy. So some of them are so shy that they try to cover it up with being an asshole. So, and I see that too. And then there are some that are covering up with being a psycho on bath salts. Okay, so it's just a different level of covering up shyness. The best way to deal with the situation is by saying I am shy, and saying it directly to the woman. That takes a lot of courage. So I give a lot of respect to every man who has said to me, Nikki, I am shy. So, and that's awesome. But it stayed with that, So they said I am shy, and that's it. And that's where it stayed. That's where they stayed, on the chess game, on the chessboard, on my alien spaceship. So they glued themselves to that spot for good. So it's sad. It's very sad. I never get the chance to meet them, to get to know them, to talk to them, just as friends. It doesn't have to be something else to come out of this. So for me, I said it in my other video that I made today on the other channel. It's not so much about us women wanting to get the man into our beds. it's not, that's not the most important thing. That's what men think. That's the most important thing for men. Or that's what they think that it is for them. Okay. So for us women, for us straight women, we want to feel safe, you know. We want to connect with people. We want to feel like this is a safe friendship, a safe connection. And so the way I moved on from James Hetfield was very simple actually. He killed mother bears in Russia, and that came out because he actually talked about that in one of their Metallica movies, and I was like, what? This can't be. I was in denial at first, and then Paul kept sending me petitions about the baby bears that were orphaned because of this butcher tourism in Russia. And we got Vladimir Putin to sign this bill that was proposed to him, that we have all petitioned for, to sign this bill into effect, that the butcher tourism has to be outlawed, and that they do not allow hunters from Russia or from other countries to come in and shoot hibernating bears in Siberia. So he outlawed that. Whether that's going to be enforced or not, that's still another thing, okay? But we got that all accomplished, all of us together. It was teamwork, you know. That's fantastic. That's a major victory. And that closed the chapter on James Hetfield. Just like that. Finished. Like, bye-bye. See her. No, don't see her. Ever, don't ever. That's like one of the celebrities I don't ever want to see. Okay, so together with Ted Nugent, that motherfucker, you know. So I want nothing to do with cruel people, or anyone who does bow and arrow hunting or hunting in general. You know, I want nothing to do with people like this. So if someone like that loves me, they have to quit all of that. They have to quit the violence. I can give people another chance if they quit all of that, and if they quit smoking, if they quit drinking, if they quit drugs, if they quit violent behavior, you know. But as long as they are violent, there's no chance, you know. I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate violent behavior. So, you know, we need to always be very, very, very well aware. First of all, who is that other person, you know? How are they behaving? Is this congruent with my lifestyle, with how I feel, with how I think? So I still have that feeling for Zayn. I still have that, and it's absolutely terrible. But I feel my way through. If he wanted to meet me, I would say, yeah, if you quit drinking alcohol, and if you quit hunting, and if you quit whoring around and sharing thousands of nudes on Facebook. I'm just kidding. So they accused me of that. All of the soccer accounts accused me of that. So no, I don't do that. Okay, so I mainly want to meet people and get to know them. So that's very important for me. And conversations mean a lot to me. And yeah, and also, Teal Swan also pointed out, the importance of, us being empowered. Women, we women are empowered. Okay, that doesn't automatically mean we are feminazis. That doesn't automatically mean we we are like, oh, we don't need a guy or something. Of course we need a guy, of course we do. And we want to be held, we want to be pampered, we want to be protected, we want to be petted and kissed and all of that. Many of us are not very good with financial stuff, myself included. So we need someone to take care of us, It's good, it's wonderful. At the same time, we are equals in brain power, okay? So the brains are very different, but we're equals in the sense that we're intellectually equals. We have different tasks, we have different abilities with our brains. Women tend to go more into social sciences, and men tend to go more into technology and handiwork. So that's what Paul is all about. As a hobby, he likes to read about technology, and as a professional, he was a drummer and a handy person. So and and we did the test. We did the male female brain test, and I scored extreme female at the absolute extreme end, of female, and he scored at the other extreme end of male. So I already know that the Mirage man would also score at the absolute extreme male end. So, and he also has the body of extreme male, like I have never seen before, and I can sense it in the energy. That's why it is getting me so fired up. It is very difficult. But I deal with this, and this I'm going through this, and I got my flower in, and it is good. It's fun, and we need to acknowledge our bodies, and we need to love our bodies. That's the most important thing, that every single person, every single one of us, women and the men out there as well, that we all acknowledge our bodies and our needs, and that we love our bodies, and that we're good to ourselves, and that we live healthy, and that we dissolve shame and pride. It's very, very important. So that's the most important thing, is the way I deal with this situation is I cry my way through, and you can do the same, whether you are still thinking about a past lover, or if you're thinking about a celebrity that you are in love with. So the most important thing that you can do for yourself is love yourself, love your body, be good to yourself, pamper yourself, empower yourself. It's very, very important. Empowerment. Empowerment is divine femininity. That's acknowledging your beingness and what you want and what you like and who you want to love. Whoever you want to love, that you acknowledge that. And at the same time, that we don't throw ourselves at that other person, or force the other person into something they don't want to do, so or take away their freedom or something, so we have to give ourselves this love and this understanding and this process of inwardness meditation, and crying and and just feeling your way through and allowing everyone else to be where they are and who they are and what they want to do, and we take care of our own lives. That is what's so incredibly important. That's the most important thing there is. We do our belly dance. I still have to do belly dancing and make tea, and it feels really good for me that I'm not going into the chat room anymore, and it frees up space. I'm finally getting into philosophy discussions again on Facebook, which is really cool. And I am watching some Wagner's videos in full and not be constantly with ADHD, trying to think like, oh, I better go back in the chat room, and oh, I better see if my love is there. No, I'm not gonna do that anymore. So, no way. No. And so I'm moving on with my life, and I still think about him, and this will go on for a while, and I am crying my way through, and it's torture, and it is gruesome, and I feel what I feel, and I cry, and at least I don't have anger anymore. I don't have to hit my pillow anymore. And I just cry, and that's where the core of the pain is, for my mother, for my cold mother. So go through that. I get to my mother. I get to the first line of my life, which is the embryonic phase and up to half a year of life. I go all the way back to that, and I cry like a baby into my pillow. And it is extremely liberating, and it moves me forward, so it's wonderful, absolutely fantastic. And that's the process, I have to just embrace this, and that's the present I got from the infinite cosmos and from Dr. Arthur Janov. So fantastic to be able to use this tool, as my own therapist. And I want to offer that to everyone. I want to create a therapy help center and offer that to everyone. And I would say to everyone, so what do you want from life? Who do you want to be with? Okay, that will probably be the first question. That's how we get this started, And then people will start talking about their lives. And there will be emotions coming up. And I let them talk. I'm not gonna try to coach them too much into where the emotions are, which cryotherapy did. They were way too fast with that. We have to let people just ramble on first for a while. Okay, they will come to those emotions on their own, and that's also the best thing to do. Not so much to say, this is your problem and you better get into it. I will say, this is what I see, but you have to find it. You have to find out for yourself. You have to feel safe to get into this, and that's really the most important thing, is that everyone has to feel safe in order to feel something from the past. So, the ground has to be created first. The space has to be created first before the brain is able to even go to the past. That's why I also made videos about hallucinogenic drugs and said that any of those drugs, particularly the ayahuasca sessions in South America, they tear people open when they're not ready at all. Okay, people have died from that because of that. So that's not a good idea. Okay, the way we get to it is through the inwardness meditation process with a sober brain. The brain has to be absolutely sober for that. And then we are healing. Then we're on the healing path, you know. So it's very, very important to do this. So that's how we move forward with our lives, you know, whatever our situation is. So take care. Bye bye.